Welcome to this fifth session of What I Love About This Gospel, Village Connect. I'm Tom R., pastor of Village Church. For this session, I want you to read Mark 5, verses 1 through 20. It is an unusual story, and it's noteworthy the degree of detail that Mark gives in telling us this moment in the ministry of Jesus. So read Mark 5, 1 through 20, see what strikes you there, and when you finish, turn the video back on. We'll start the conversation then. So that's a strange story. It's an important story, and it's another miracle story. As a matter of fact, almost 25% of Mark's gospel are miracle stories. Almost all of those fall in the first 8 chapters. We'll talk about why that is at another time. But the miracle stories are an important part of Mark's gospel and of Jesus' ministry. There's some things to understand about miracle stories. They have a structure. All the miracle stories, they begin, there's a problem. There's a solution to the problem, and then there's a confirmation of the problem. There's a man with a withered hand, or there's a man who is paralyzed. There's a problem. Then there's a solution. Jesus says, rise, take your pallet and walk, or Jesus says, stretch out your hand. There's a solution. And then there's a confirmation. All are amazed at what they had seen, or the religious leaders, they plot to destroy him. That's the basic structure of each miracle story, and we find that same structure here in the 5th chapter. It says Jesus crosses the sea, and he comes there and is met by a man who, it says, lives among the tombs. In other words, he's as good as dead. He lives there in the cemetery. The people have pushed him out. They can't deal with him. He is not part of their community. And Mark goes into great detail describing the condition of this man, and the picture that we get is that he is unbelievably strong. The chains he rips apart, the shackles he destroys, he is strong. He's possessed by, it says, a legion of demons. We learned that in a fascinating conversation that it's hard to make sense of. But one of the interesting things is that demons in Mark's worldview, they're part of the spiritual world. They know the truth of who Jesus is. They're not obedient to him, they don't follow him, but they know who he is, and it's the demons who are speaking. They say, we know who you are, you've come to destroy us, cast us into the pigs. It's the demons in this man. He says there's a legion of them that speak to Jesus, and Jesus casts them out. So we have a problem. A man is possessed by a legion of demons. We have a solution. Jesus cast them out into a herd of swine. And then we have a confirmation. The swine race down the hill and are destroyed in the sea. Problem, solution, confirmation. The story could be over, but there's 6 more verses that are added to this story. And see, what we're learning is when the structure is played with, you want to pay attention to that addition. So what happens after the story is complete is we get a reaction from the crowd. The swineherd goes into the town and tells everyone what has happened, and the town comes out and they ask Jesus to leave their neighborhood. Now, some would say they're mad at him because he destroyed the pigs. They're mad at him because he took their livelihood, the economy, away from them, and that would be understandable. But that's not what the text says. Look at it closely. It says the people came out and they saw the man who had been possessed by a legion of demons. They saw him clothed and sitting in his right mind. and they asked Jesus to leave. The man, on the other hand, he asked, "Let me follow you. Let me come with you." This is significant. This is the first time that someone in Mark's gospel has volunteered to be a disciple. It's the first time someone has said they want to follow Jesus. Up until this point, Jesus has been calling people. He's been gathering crowds, but this is the first time that someone says, "I want to go with you," and Jesus says, "No. You must stay and tell the people in the town what has happened." Now, this is interesting because the people already know what has happened. So what is the man going to tell them that they don't already know? If we read it carefully, what we see is the people in the town saw something, but they didn't see what really happened. What they saw is there was a man who the evil in him, the brokenness in him, whatever that condition in, was so strong they were powerless to help him. All they could do was keep him at bay. And then Jesus comes and casts out that evil power. So what they know of Jesus is he is more powerful than the evil in this man. Now you might think they would celebrate that, but power in and of itself is not attractive. It's intimidating. It is frightening. They wanted Jesus to leave because all they could see in him was power. Well, isn't that what the man saw? Yes, but not just that. Jesus said, "Go and tell them what the Lord has done for you and how he has shown mercy on you." That's the miracle. That's what really happened. The people in the town, if they were to talk about this, all they would be able to talk about is the power of Jesus. But what Jesus says really happens here is mercy. That's the story that the man must preach in his own community. That's why Jesus sends him back. No, they think they know what's happened here, but they don't know what happened here. What really happened here was Jesus looked down through all of the brokenness and evil and pain of this man who is as good as dead. And he finds a human being and he brings him to the surface. He heals him. He makes him part of his community again. He has mercy on him. We're going to discover that this gospel, more than any of the others, goes to great lengths to show us that if all we see of Jesus is his power, we do not see what he's really about. His real ministry is a ministry of mercy, and he wants his people to tell others of that mercy. That's what happened.